Button. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, world. Thank you for joining us for Thursday Live with John Cogley. But John, for this week, couldn't join us because again, he's on his way to another event from South Africa, but he looks forward to joining us again, hopefully tomorrow. But today we again have the beautiful couple, Letizia, Giovanni, and Letizia. Hi, guys, from Italy. And our topic for today's session would be complementary colors, our red and green. Also joining in Zoom room are brand ambassadors. We have Angela, Gabrielle,
Hi.
Buffy, Anna Marie, and artist
Hello.
who else are here?
Hello, everybody.
In a little while. And as usual, we encourage everybody, if you feel like you want to swatch along, that would be perfect, and encourage you to share your swatch as we go along with our session today. Okay, so take it away, Gio.
Okay, perfect. Thank you, and good morning, good night, and good evening to all. Today is a best moment for explain the two beautiful color in the charts. The red and green. Red and green is a complementary color, and a little bit of red or green is used for the secondary color in the circular secondary scheme. This is this sheet is all the red. It is impossible to explain today all the red and all the green, but I select for the complementary mixing 10 red and 10 green is my selection. But now I explain all the red is starting from cadmium red, scarlet hue, organic vermilion, Mayan orange, have a pigment red inside. Quinacridone coral is my favorite because it's a monopigment, is a perfect central in the scale. Pyro scarlet, perilene scarlet, anthraquinoid scarlet, cadmium red medium, pyro red, perilene red, permanent red deep, quinacridone red, anthraquinoid red, Mayan red, alizarin crimson. From this and to the end is a red with little violet shade. Permanent alizarin crimson, rhodonite, carmine, rose madder permanent, opera pink is a only the red fugitive, potter pinks, quinacridone pink, quinacridone rose, quinacridone lilac, quinacridone magenta is one of the best primary with phthalo blue and yellow, pyro crimson, and quinacridone fuchsia. This is all the red in the chart. And this is all the green in the...
Gio, can I interrupt? Did you say that the opera pink is fugitive?
This is the opera pink, sorry?
Did you say that it's fugitive?
Because the pigment is very stable.
The fluorescent.
Because I have a fluorescent inside.
And did you say it's fugitive?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, it is. Oh.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay.
There are only two fugitive colors.
Yeah.
The opera pink and the alizarin crimson.
Questo. Ecco perché è permanente.
Because why is the reason because of why permanent alizarin crimson have. The green is starting with phthalo turquoise, Kingman green turquoise, sleeping beauty, beautiful, ultramarine turquoise, cobalt turquoise, the amazonite, cobalt green pale, fuchsite, viridian, one of my best, diopside, phthalo green blue shade, cascade green is very, very beautiful green, jadeite, cobalt green, and this triad is very, very beautiful for the light green, spring green, permanent green light, and phthalo yellow green. Permanent green, phthalo green yellow shade, hooker's green, sap green is very beautiful for the landscape and in combination with the hair color. Serpentine, chromium green oxide, green apatite, terbert, deep sap green, Perillian green, Prussian green is very cool green, rare green earth, Andersen green, zeolite is very particular because I have inside a pigment green, but in this case it is similar to a gray color and beautiful granulation. Olive green, green gold, rich green gold, and in this case nickelezio yellow. Why? Because I have is considered to a little bit of green inside because I have a pigment green. It's composed. Okay, this two sheet is all in the chart, but my selection for the complementary color have only 10 red and 10 green. Oops. This combination is my selection for the swatch in the sheet, and started for create the mixing with cadmium red scarlet,
Earlier, we actually asked Giovanni, like, what made him choose the colors today. And like, for example, for reds, we have a lot of reds and greens that an hour of color swatching and conversation about it may not be enough. So Gia, if you could share the reason why you chose, or how did you choose the colors for today?
this combination is pure. I selected with my eyes. When I try the color, I try in two modes: wet on wet and dry. And when I dry, I select this perfect combination for me. And the green, phthalo yellow green is very light. And mixing together. For create the beautiful red and green, similar to hair color. Okay. The second shot selection is an organic vermilion. The organic vermilion is a very warm red. And green gold for the green. Is not granulating color. And for connection,
That's one of my favorite mixes that you're doing right now, Giovanni. It
Thank you.
creates such a beautiful, that middle color, when you water it down, it can even look like skin tone in a lot of ways. Very pretty.
yeah, yeah. It's a perfect connection because it created this. After this watch, I explained it. Most important when I use the complementary color, all the complementary color is the sequence. The first color where you start. The sequence is very, very important.
Thank you.
You're welcome. The another selection is Mayan orange. I use my half pen. And olive green. And connection. Okay. And another, my favorite, is quinacridone coral. The quinacridone coral is this selection I use for the another tips before the swatch, after the swatch, sorry. Because it's a very strong red for me, for my work. I use in every part of my painting. And spring green. Okay. Connecting. And created this beautiful brown. And 5 selection. Pearl scarlet.
So our friends in Zoom and Facebook, if you have questions, we have Anna Marie and Gabrielle who could help us read questions from Facebook and even here in Zoom. And of course, if you have requests for color mix, we also allow that, especially for Thursday sessions. And after Gio completes the first round of swatching for the colors, we could have Angela share her beautiful mix as I see it on the screen. That's so fast, Angela. You already have a piece there.
Is a permanent green light.
I'm seeing Gio's swatch colors on Angela's piece.
Yeah. And connection.
And then we could also later have Buffy's prepared swatch, like towards pastel intensity.
Okay, the first 5 selection, when I mix, starting from red inside in the green. The last 5, starting from green to red. I changed the sequence for mixing. The selection is Pearl Scarlet.
Giovanni, this
Yes.
is Anna Marie. Would you be willing to speak a little bit more about that? How you started with red into green and then you changed direction? Does that have an influence or an effect? Are you able to articulate that?
Yeah.
Thanks.
I changed the sequence because for changing the undertone brown, when I created the brown for the mix, I explain now. This is up green. Because when the first color when it's starting is a predominance. Now I change.
Gio, Caroline says on Facebook, these are the colors of poppies.
Yeah. I change, check the difference. Okay, another is anthraquinoid scarlet. Is very similar to a little orange, but it's red. And permanent green. The scarlet is warm, and this green is cool. And created a very strong brown. Okay. Then other is cadmium red medium. U. And cobalt green. Is very interesting mixing. Remember, this is important. The first color when you start. Another is pyro red. Very, very strong.
Giovanni, I have another question for you. When you're mixing the 2 colors, the red and green, and you're thinking about which red and which green to choose to put the colors together, do you strategize about granulation or about transparency and opacity for these mixes?
Dici, beh, quando devi notare la mescolanza,
Yeah.
ci badi della granulazione e della trasparenza dell'umidità.
Yeah, for the granulation, I prefer no, but because the granulation is another statement of the color. But when I use the complementary color, in this case red and green, I prefer the same tonalities and the same transparency or the same luminosity. In this case is for example, Spiro red is strong for me. I use the phthalo green blue shade, another strong, but is transparent in this case.
The vocabulary word luminosity and the second one that you used I don't understand that, or maybe it doesn't translate well. Could you explain further about the meaning of this?
The luminosity is too different.
perché
The luminosity is
the light partners.
yeah, the light fastener, and when, for example, one tips for the check the luminosity, when you painting, shot the photograph in white and black. I have the same luminosity for the checking, and the luminance is
Brilliance.
not is only brilliance, is a combination of light fastener and brilliance.
So for the first time, when you were talking about luminosity, could we also understand that as value or tone?
Value.
Yeah.
Value.
Okay. And the second one, you were talking about brilliance.
Yeah.
Or how the light reflects out of it? Like
Yes.
saturated, would that also be communicated as saturated or desaturated?
No, the saturated is another. The luminosity is completely different, because in saturated use the whites or desaturated. But the luminosity, the color, for example, is possible to change to apply more water. I have the color is low or high.
Okay, thanks for going a little deeper in what the meaning of the words meant. I appreciate that.
Thank you. You're welcome.
When you strategize the color combination for your own paintings, do you strategize the transparency, opacity, or the staining aspect?
Yeah.
Cioè lo calcoli la trasparenza quando...
The transparency is I calculating before before application, but the mixing is for the mixing color I apply directly on the paper. This is my little strategy. The last my combination is Perry red.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Anna Maria. And the Viridian. Is completely different.
La luminosità è legata alla brillantezza.
Maybe after this, we could invite Angela to share her, not just swatch, but to my eyes, it's already an art piece. The first one that you did, Angela.
Vogliono sapere il pattern pink.
Okay. This is my selection to swatch and mixing the complementary color. And now I explain on little tips with this is quinacridone coral and spring green. This is the sequence. I apply first queen coral and the second spring green, mix it all together. I obtain this brown. But in this case, apply when dry. I check this.
Gio, we have a question here from Sabine. So Sabine wants to know, for example, for complementary colors like red and green. So the
Yeah.
different shades of gray here are also shown, or only the brown shades? Like what you did.
Il verde, si può vedere anche il grigio o solo il marrone?
No, I'm not only brown, but little, sometimes a little part of gray, but not only brown.
Per avere grigio come si fa?
Thank you.
Yeah, in this case, apply the quinacridone coral. And spring green. And apply mixing wet on wet. And obtain this brown. But when apply the shade, in this case, the first layer is spring green, but is dry. Apply my layer of glaze of queen coral, sorry. And obtain little different because change the wet and dry. For the green, I change the sequence. Oops. And apply my green and obtain this brown with predominance green. I change in the complementary scheme, change only the sequence, obtain 4 different shades. These are simple tips when I painting with the complementary. And now my scheme for the predominance color. Working. I use only the masking tape. All the red is a quinacridone coral, and the green I use the spring green. This scheme is in every book, color books when you're studying, but it's very important for study the predominance in the complementary. In this case, the green inside in the red. When I dry, if you want, apply another layer. And this scheme is green outside red. or the red inside in the green. Like in the second scheme is the predominance red. And in the another square is predominance green. Okay. In the last is a predominance green, but with the focus point. In this case, the focus is the circle. I use in this case the masking fluid on the red circle.
Mm.
The most important is an exercise with all the complementary color for studying the predominance color inside in the color. Is one of the best tips for studying, for example, shadow in the shadow. In this case, for example, use only the neutral tint and change the luminosity and the quantity. And the last is predominance red on focus point in green. Okay. When I'm waiting dry, Angela is ready, Gabriel is ready for you there for applying the second layer. Yeah.
We see these colors in Angela's piece. Thank you, Gio. So this is for the first cut, and we now move on to Angela. Let's put this as in spotlight.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we do. There, it's
Okay.
on spotlight.
Yes, this is my second. I can hear an echo. Can you hear an echo?
No.
huh? Okay, perfect. So this is my second piece. It's still very wet. I used these colors here. I don't know if you can see them. Let me see. These colors here, Pyro Red, Quinacridone Magenta, and a Perylene Scarlet. So here's the Pyro. Here is the Quinacridone Magenta, that is darker. And the Perylene Scarlet is under here.
So alive.
The Perylene Scarlet is here. Beautiful. And then combined with the two greens, the green apatite here at the top and here on the left, mixed with jadeite. And in the middle, I use the nickel laser. So here the mixture at the bottom is from quinacridone scarlet and jadeite. I don't know if you can see them well. And here I used other tones. The first painting,
one, right? First one.
yes, that's the first one. This is drier. I used a pink, the opera pink, mixed with quinacridone coral and carmine. And here it's the spring green, which makes a beautiful brown. I don't know if you can see it. Can you see the brown?
Yeah.
And here the dark brown is the quinacridone, sorry, the carmine with, no, the spring green. This was phthalo green. This is phthalo green. And the other one is spring green. Here there is spring green. And here mixed phthalo green and spring green and more of these reds. So I like this mixture a lot, especially if I use the Nicolazo mixed with the opera pink. It gives such a beautiful shade here.
Lori says the first one reminds her of the Northern Lights. I think, Lori, you're referring to this drier.
This one?
The first one, which is
This
yeah.
one.
The first one with pink in it, yeah.
Yeah, this one. It's beautiful.
Yes, could be. Thank
A
you.
little darker than we used to see them in the sky, but it just the swirling effect. It's free.
Have you seen them?
Yes, we lived in Alaska when I was a child.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
One of my dreams to see them.
Thank you, Angela.
Thank
Now,
you.
If we could invite Buffy to share about these beautiful mixes.
Hi, everybody. So really quick, someone had asked about Potter's Pink. So these ones are still drying, but I tried to do a cool and a warm. So this one is Potter's Pink with Prussian green. And Potter's Pink is like one of those hyper granulating colors. So you can really have a lot of fun if you're a color nerd and you like mixing colors and playing with textures. And it gives you these really sweet pastel colors, which is really cool. And then this one is the Potter's Pink with serpentine green, and it has a whole different vibe, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I think I like the cooler one a little bit better. But so here are a couple favorites. This is transparent red oxide with Prussian green, and you can see how you can get these lovely pastels and beautiful brown colors, but when you look at it really close, you can actually see the two different colors separating from each other. So you can see that they have a different sedimentation rate when they settle on the paper, which is fun. This one is quinacridone red with the Prussian green. Again, a warmer mix and a cooler mix. And then the reds and the greens, I have a confession. I've always had kind of like red and green next to each other. I've never really liked, but the blends when you do the gradients are amazing when you take it from red to the green. So this one is Pyrrole Red and Sap Green. And look at this beautiful earthy tan. I love that. Who knew, right? I didn't know. Then this one is Permanent Alizarin Crimson and Olive Green. And again, look at this beautiful tone, like some skin tones could be in this range. This one, though, is the same as Gio's, I believe. This one is the Organic Vermilion and the Rich Green Gold. And this color right here, this peachy, I could totally see this in desert landscape paintings, how pretty that would be. And then the last one, but not least, is Undersea Green with Carmine. This one had some really interesting kind of mauve brick colors. That was really pretty. And again, the carmine seemed more dominant than the undersea green. So you got this neat glowing effect when you move them together. So,
Gorgeous mixes, really gorgeous mixes.
oh, thank you, Angela. Yeah, a lot of fun playing, especially when you have colors you don't necessarily like together. To have a color day like today where we get to play with them and explore them and kind of unlock their secrets. I really appreciate these. Thank you for including me.
Thank you, Buffy. All right. And I do see Gabrielle too playing with unique mixes and some figures. So let's put him on the spotlight.
I am playing. That's totally true. Like, this is my day to play these Thursdays. You know, when you play, you're going to explore new possibilities. And so this top one we have Viridian. So I definitely wanted something that would granulate. And my red was Mayan red. So this is a color probably most of you already have. It's a color that's been very popular over the decades. But Mayan red you may not have. So I wanted to see what it would look like. And since you're coming on now, these are starting to dry up or set up, I should say. My next little here is we've got cobalt green here. And then over here we got carmine. So I've always done like a cobalt, turquoise with a carmine, but never a cobalt green. So it's pretty cool. This is definitely a cooler red than the Mayan red. Yeah. But this over here, we got a cooler green than over here with the cobalt green. So it almost flip-flops. All right, then next up, we've got quinacridone red with green oxide. Sorry, I totally butchered that one. And look at this goodness here. We've got this wonderful granulation here. And then over here, look at this nice bright color. And we could take these two and put them together and then create a wonderful, neutral, lovely warmth color. I've seen the ground look this color out here in San Diego. So I think I got a new mixture for like a really warm day. And then we have Pyro Crimson. I normally use Pyro Red and Pyro Scarlet. So I wanted to play around, and so I painted this roller derby team here, just a group of peeps. They like to throw some elbows on roller skates, and they're all shapes and sizes. And so I started this whole thing from the tops of the heads all the way down. And then the green I used right here, Perylene green, which is not a green that I use often. So we're making some really nice darks. Just with two colors, you can make almost, something that looks kind of dark, meaning I wouldn't have to use black, okay? You're not having to pull out that ivory black. And then just real quick, I was just going to make this next mix right here. We've got right here is quinacridone lilac. All right, not a typical color I use, with a cobalt green pale. And I'm really excited to see how this wants to play or not play. I'm just going to wet this again just a little bit here with my spritzer. And then we're going to get right into this with a nice mop brush. Let's mix that right in. Look at that. Wow. Well, so you never want to mix these 50-50, okay? When you're mixing these colors. So this isn't an even mix, and this is not an even mix. We've got a little bit of that light, just nice little shift. All right, thank you for
Yay.
joining me.
I love those mixes, Gabriel, and especially the bellies of the guys under there.
Oh yeah, you gotta have some loving right there.
there is a big belly. Look at
The one on the left. Yeah.
On the right, yeah.
This
And
one's
right.
hid by the coat. There's actually 3 big bellies in there.
the big belly crew.
Thanks for that.
I also
Gabriel.
love
Beer bellies.
Yeah, Gabriel, I also love what you said. That's so true about not being 50-50 mix, but to mix, you know, have your dominant color and then mix little bits of the next color. I thank you for sharing that.
For sure.
Thank you, Gabriel. I think it's really great to see everybody's mixes, same set of colors or family of colors, and amazing to see different, you know, like range of mixes. And here's something to affirm what our BAs and support artists shared today from Sarah. She said she loves the crowd, seeing everybody leaning in together. Thanks for that, Sarah. And we have a few minutes left. We could invite Giovanni and Letty again for another set, this time with our greens.
Yeah.
The other camera, there you go. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. I finished my scan from the predominance. I remember the green inside the red, and the red inside the green, the predominance red and predominance green, and predominance green with focus point, and predominance red with focus point green. This is a scan for explaining a better mode the complementary colors. And the last minute I try to mixing and wet on wet the 2 colors granulating is a Potter Pinks and Amazonite, and Perilyn Scarlet and Serpentine. But I change the sequence. The first is Potter's Pink. And little drops of Amazonite inside. And change the sequence. Granulating color. And the last is Perilyn Scarlet. Serpentine. With drops. And change the sequence. Completely different. Zoom.
It's totally different depending on the order you use.
Yeah. The sequence is important, is very, very important when I use the combination. Before the mixing, before the complementary, before the pastel, tone is completely change your mix. This is the first is the Potter's pink and a little drop of Amazonite, and change the sequence is completely different. In this case, is Perylene Scarlet with little drop of Serpentine, and completely different. It's a complementary scan.
Giovanni, thank you. My name is Toki. I'm off camera. I'm taking care of a sick dog, so it's too distracting. I asked about these and I appreciate you showing them because I do a lot of sea life. So with coral and even the sea life, there's a lot of life on a sea turtle's shell. So that's why this granulation, those combinations, I really appreciate you showing them. There's a couple colors that I don't have, but I will be going to the store later. So thank you.
Yay.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks for that, Tokyo. I think John would always want our friends in Zoom and Facebook to ask questions. And if you have mixing requests, because the Thursday Live is really all about color play. We know we have tons of information from our website, but good to have artists ready to answer questions, not just the technical side, but even application. So thank you, Gio and Letizia, for leading us today's session. Tomorrow, we're going to have another guest artist who would lead us with gouache, use of gouache for a painting. She's Heather in Martin. That's going to be at 10:30 a.m. We hope to have John tomorrow, but yeah, we'd like you guys, we'd like our friends to join us again tomorrow, Friday. Thank you, Gabrielle, Buffy, Anna Marie.
Thank you.
Angela, of course, and even Mark for the usual support, and for all our dear friends who would always join us on Thursdays and Fridays. So see you tomorrow, everybody.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Tomorrow I'll be in Holland.
Oh.
Happy painting.
Bye.